Did you read the title? Okay, enough said. Number 1, Phantasy Star Online 2. No, there's not a Phantasy Star Online 1, don't ask. Anyways, in this anime, Phantasy Star Online 2 is an online MMORPG that has reached Fortnite levels of popularity. Due to this, adults have begun to once again theorize that video games might be having a negative effect on our children. Now, the almighty Student Council President, Rina, is a die-hard Phantasy Star Online 2 player, and as such made it her goal to prove these ludicrous theories wrong. In order to accomplish her objective, Miss President recruits Itsuki to be the Student Council Vice President, and his first job as VP is to begin researching Phantasy Star Online 2, without letting his grades slip. This anime follows Itsuki as he starts off playing Phantasy Star Online 2 solely for the sake of research, unknowing that over time, he will become a die-hard player just like Miss President. Personally, I wasn't impressed with this anime, but at the same time, I wasn't disappointed either. It just sits perfectly in that middle ground where you're just like, yeah, this anime's okay. So normally I wouldn't jump at the opportunity to recommend this to anyone, but since this series is all about unpopular anime, well, here we are. Let's just say that if you've watched every other video game-ish anime out there, then this anime might be for you. But hey, if you find value in this video, then be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Number 2, Murder Princess. The wonderful kingdom of Fourland is currently under attack by the traitorous Dr. Akamashi. The king has been fatally wounded, but with his dying breath, he orders Princess Alita to run away from the kingdom. However, just after escaping the castle, they find themselves under attack in the forest by a giant monster known as the Forest Guardian. Alita's 2 escorts stood absolutely no chance, but she somehow manages to slip past the monster and begins searching for literally anyone that can help her. Alita stumbles upon the infamous bounty hunter Phallus, and due to a panicked mistake, they both end up falling off of a cliff. Due to a little bit of luck, and or lack of, depending on how you want to look at it, Alita and Phallus both managed to survive the fall, but some hocus pocus bullshit has caused them to swap bodies. How do I phrase this clearly? So Princess Mercenary Phallus kills the forest monster, which causes Mercenary Princess Alita to beg herself to help her actual self to take back the throne from Dr. Akamashi. You followed that, right? So the old Mercenary Phallus, now turned Princess Alita, takes back the throne and begins her reign as the Murder Princess. Murder Princess is good for a short 6-episode anime, but it has the exact same problems you would expect. It has good action and fun characters, but 6 episodes just isn't enough time to properly develop the plot and characters. Even through all that, I still highly recommend watching this anime. Number 3, Release the Spice. You know how ninjas are typically dark, manly, and mysterious? Yeah, this anime said screw that and just layered on the moe. The Tsukikage is a secret ninja agency which consists of moe high school girls who are able to break free from their normal human limitations by ingesting spice. However, one night while infiltrating a factory of bad guys, they are noticed by a civilian girl with unusually heightened senses named Momo. It turns out that Momo has an extremely strong sense of justice, and because this is anime, she also has a tongue that is able to taste people's emotions. After getting to know her better, they offer Momo a choice, to either join the ninjas or have her memory completely wiped, and she'll go back to living a completely normal life. And just like that, she lives a normal life. Of course not. Momo actually decides to join the ninjas, becoming Yuki's apprentice, and learns how to sword fight and use martial arts. This anime follows the ninjas of Tsukikage as they battle against the mysterious criminal organization Morio. First and foremost, shame on you to everyone who judged this anime and skipped ahead in my video. Release the Spice is all around fantastic for what it is. There's not any deep dark secrets or long drawn out personal struggles because there's not supposed to be. This anime is meant to be a fun, lighthearted action anime about some moe teenagers who are normal schoolgirls by day but badass ninjas by night. And that's exactly what it is, and I love it. Number 4, 7 Seeds. After realizing a giant meteorite was on a direct collision course with the Earth, world governments put numerous different plans into motion to try and avert this disaster. All of these plans to destroy and/or redirect the meteorite failed, leaving them with one final option: the Seven Seed Project. The Seven Seed Project was a plan to put 5 groups of people into cryogenic sleep as an attempt to prevent human extinction. A computer was then programmed to monitor the Earth in order to determine a suitable time for the 5 groups to awaken. Now, after waking up, these humans quickly realized that a lot more has changed than just the geography. And let's just say that humans are no longer even close to being at the top of the food chain. These 5 groups of humans have no choice but to quickly adapt to this new world, as they are literally the last hope of humanity. Seven Seeds has a lot in common with many other survival anime, but it does manage to set itself apart due to the large variety of characters. The large cast is arguably its most interesting aspect and its biggest flaw at the same time. On one end, you have 5 different groups of characters, which each has their very own hierarchy and dynamics. This means that there is a good chance you will find at least one group of people that you find entertaining. However, this anime doesn't handle this large cast very well. Seven Seeds is constantly jumping back and forth between all of its different characters, without fully fleshing out any one group. For me personally, this didn't take away from the overall enjoyment, and episode 7 goes down as one of my favorite standalone anime episodes ever. Number 5. Broken Blade. Over a long period of time, the humans on the continent of Cruzon have evolved, gaining the ability to manipulate the mineral quartz with only their mind. In order to take full control of this magic, humans began infusing absolutely everything with quartz, from everyday light bulbs to giant mechs known as golems. Now, of course, this anime follows one of the very few people who are completely unable to use quartz magic. And one day, our protagonist Rigar Arrow receives a summons from an old classmate who just so happens to be the king of the country. Rigar sets off toward the capital, almost dying in the process, but in the end, he does get there. He is taken directly to the king, who informs him that their country is on the brink of war, and he needs Rigar to help research an ancient golem. It turns out this ancient golem can only be piloted by people who have 0 magical ability, and as you probably guessed, Rigar begins piloting said golem. Broken Blade was actually brought to my attention by Dragonslayer 2315, so be sure to thank him if it has piqued your interest. By no means does Broken Blade rewrite the fantasy mecha genre, but it's just different enough to make it stand out from the masses. And from what I saw, this anime seems like a solid choice for your next watch. Now, let's see if you can guess what waifu this is. Leave your guess in the comments. Thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel. And thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope to see you next time.